Hello, everybody. Welcome here or welcome back, whatever the case may be. I am crooked. I don't know. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. It looked crooked to me. I need to go to Nanny's and take Scooby out, so I'm going to do all of that. It doesn't seem to be raining right now. We had a bit of rain earlier, although the temperature I think was still around -1, so not too bad. I don't know if there's a wind chill. I thought I would get ready in a way I don't normally get ready. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but I will explain as I go. Not what I'm looking for. That's the end I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to take my Revolution Reloaded palette, and I will probably take, I don't know, let's see, I'll start with this one here. And I need to get my, not organized yet. What I do is I have a drawer here. See, that has this on here. It's got glitter and stuff on it. Oh, is that a smart thing to do? Probably not. And I take my mirror and I put my mirror on there. And that is how I work in this environment. When you don't have a lot of space, you try to find a way to organize it in such a way that it's really multifunctional. So I'm just going to try and take and color in where my actual eyebrows are instead of putting on new ones. And I'm starting with this being a little bit lighter than my eyebrows because I can always make them darker. But it's easier to take, well, it's easier for me to take off lighter pigment than darker pigment. I don't know if that's the case for everybody. Other people might have tricks to do it that I do not have. But my trial and error has taught me this about myself. And that's really all I can judge things on. I guess I didn't actually follow my eyebrows. My eyebrows would come down here, and I'm kind of going across. So I really don't know what I'm doing today. That was not the plan. But it is what it is. Let's see. Bring it a little closer, down to there. And that's similar to this one, so I'm not going to complain. But I am going to darken. So I'm going to take the one that's over here, my second darkest, really. And I'm just going to put that in about here towards the end. And that just gives that a little bit more depth of color. When I'm not trying too hard and I don't take it too seriously, I'm just playing around, they tend to turn out better than when I'm really trying and taking it very seriously. I'm not sure why that is. Again, I don't know if these are me issues or that's just a standard issue. All I can do is comment on my observations of trial and error. And some things I hear from other people and I test them out and I see that yes, it works for me the same, or no, it's different for me for some reason. And there's a lot of reasons things can be the same or different. Now, I have very different canvas than most people doing makeup. That's just a fact. I have a wrinkly old 60-year-old canvas, and I don't mind that. I really don't. I don't mind that at all. Now, I'm going to also find, where's my contour palette? There's my next contour palette. Probably should have taken the reflective surface off. I'm gonna have to get into it. You can see I actually use a lot of the things in here, and then some things I don't use much. And the things I don't use much is because I really don't know how to use them. And I'm gonna see right now, even though that's not what I wanted to do. No, that's not what I want to do. I should stick with the plan that I went in with. So I'm gonna take my contour palette and I'm gonna take this, which is contour, as opposed to something that's warmer, that's more a little bronzy, and it's not as dark as that. So I am just going to put that where my beard is. Right, so it gives, like, it just fills in just a little bit without it being me coloring it in. And it blends in some of the whitish hairs, but again, it's not covering them, so they end up seeming more natural without standing out the same as just the white that's there. It doesn't show the same on the camera as I see in the mirror. So I am not sure until I edit this what it will and won't show. But I'm just trying to make sure the white hairs, normally I just shave my neck. I'm not fond of a neck beard on me. So even when I had, like, I used to have like a very long beard, but all of this down was always clean and the beard just came down in front because I couldn't tolerate anything else. But I'm trying to do a I'm not overly made up look today, which I've probably already screwed up by just doing my eyebrows so much. But I'm okay with that. Oh, didn't do this area. And I can see it too because the light will hit it and just flash off the white hairs. And now it doesn't. So again, it's playing up the stubble. Now I can go in with something deeper. And just put that where I want it to. I could put that everywhere if I wanted to, just deepen it up just a little bit, but I really don't have to. So I'm not going to. There it is. Right where I left. I'm forever losing things right where I left them. Now, I could, if I wanted to, just whatever's left on here of whatever blush I had, I'm just going to put a little hint. I don't know what I got me there, but that's the problem. Sometimes I get things here at my, I'm going to call it a station, my makeup station, and I don't realize it's there. Yeah, I didn't want to put any of this on, but wait. I'm just going to spritz it with water because I'm not going to put any product on it because there's probably tons. The other thing that it's going to do that I didn't want is there'll be glitter on here. I don't know if it, yeah, see, glitter on here that will probably transfer to my face. But I think if I just keep this light enough, oh, no, getting glitter. Getting glitter. And just give me a little bit of color and pigment and not be quite so washed out, but I really don't want to be made up. I'm not trying to go for that. If I have a little shimmer, then it's like fine. I will just consider myself being in a Twilight episode today. I'm a Twilight vampire and I'll shimmer in the sunlight. But overall, it's just fine, right? It's nothing, but it does give me just that hint of not just being pale and pasty. But that's certainly not cleaning that forehead area the way, or covering whatever it was that was bothering me. And I don't know what it is. Don't see it on my hands. But that's the thing. I will touch something that I don't realize is there. See, like something like that. And then it ends up getting on me somehow. See, like it's just a little dot of pigment that black on black I don't see. So I think that's telling me I need to clean up this area before I do something important. And that is the lesson I need to learn from that. So that's all I'm doing today. It's really very simple. Like I could go in, he says, as he ends up going in and doing more, but you can go in. Actually, I'm not going to do my white. This is a perfect time for me to do it's a bluish white. And again, okay, let's sharpen. Let's close those up. Pull out the sharpener. Because sometimes it's fun and important just to see what one tiny little extra detail, more or less, will do, right? I could put this on and go, should have stopped. But I'm going to do this. And I'm just going to go in and do my water line. Right? Just like that. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And that will fade down, but it ends up giving me a brighter, bigger eye than this eye because this one's not done. Once I do it, they'll be the same. Well, as much the same as they are. I guess it's not going to change anything. But that is that. So since I've done that, I find that I need to, at least subtly, where is it? I'm just going to lift this over here instead of just reaching behind me, rattling. No, you're not it. Where are you? My Lancome kohl liner in the color Black Coffee. And I am just going to do this right where the lashes are. Very lightly. Just to kind of, because I have almost no lower lashes, so If I do this, it just looks like lashes as opposed to nothing. Like those are my lashes, they're just really sparse. So when I do that, it just ends up looking more like my lashes are just a little fuller on the bottom without me putting mascara on them, because it just leaves them sparse and weird and strangely wispy. So that doesn't work for me the same as it would for other people. So that's what I do, and I don't try to make it necessarily look like I got liner on. And sometimes a brown works for that, but I like this black coffee because it's not fake black, but it's nicely dark. Excuse me. But that just kind of maximizes my lashes down there. And that is, see, and from a distance, I just have brighter, whiter eyes. Excuse me. And up close, it's just this. I'm not really overly made up. And like I said, that white there is going to fade a bit, and it's just going to leave a little bit of a hint of that there. And just a little hint of color I have in there. Beard. Now, I could put on some eyeshadow, even in neutrals and whatnot, but that wasn't my goal of the day. I've already exceeded the makeup I was planning on doing today. But I just wanted people to realize that I don't always make myself up. Sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's none at all. And it's all the same to me, right? I have friends that, well, it was always sad. I had this female friend, oh my gosh, that's probably about almost 40 years ago now. And she would not leave the house without doing her makeup and hair. And she used to spend a minimum of an hour and a half. Like that was her getting ready really fast. So if you went to her and said, hey, do you want to go somewhere? That was how long you were going to have to wait for her to be ready to leave the house. And she was just not confident in any other way. And yet she was beautiful with or without makeup on. But she just didn't feel confident. And I know that it's nice to feel put together and all of that, but I don't think anyone should feel they need to put in an hour and a half's work to feel adequate enough to be seen outside. Like, I think that's really sad. I don't think anyone should feel that way. And if somebody does out there and they think that that's natural, okay. I'm certainly not going to argue with that for you. But it's sad to me. I think people should be equally confident. Now, I know you make up, and you can feel better than yourself sometimes. And that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Harness that heroic energy however you need to. But without it, you should not feel lesser than the amazing, beautiful person that you are in or out of makeup. It doesn't change anything. It's just some pigment on your skin. And as much as it can visually change things, it doesn't change anything at all about you. It can't. Same thing as different shapes of fabric, different colors, different patterns. They're just different shapes of fabric, different fabrics. They don't mean anything to who you are as an individual. They're just an expression of things that you may like for one reason or another. And I know that people consistently mislabel. I don't know why they're labeling me in any fashion anyway. I mean, self-labeling is one thing because then it's how you identify yourself. Other people labeling you, if they're using your labels, that's helpful. If they're using their labels, might be highly inaccurate, but until it overlaps with my existence, they can think of me however they choose to think of me. What other people think of me is none of my business. But I do know that there's not been any garment in the world ever made, or any pigment that exists, that is going to change anything at all about me. What I was without those on is exactly the same with those things on. And I can play and I can have fun, I can do a lot of things, but it doesn't change anything at all about who I am. And if it's not bothering anybody else, and by bother, I mean if I'm not trying to force other people that don't want to dress the way I do to dress the way I do, it's none of their business. I guess I just have better things to do with my time than worry about what other people like. I'm not into sportswear or athletics or those kind of things, like when people wear the track pants or the joggers or the leggings or none of those things are things that grab my attention in any way. They don't interest me. I don't find them appealing. They don't make me want to wear them, right? But I don't look at anybody that's wearing those things and think, oh my God, I wouldn't wear that. Therefore, like, I don't waste my time thinking those things. And so when I did ask some people, I said, like, what does how I look have anything to do with you? Well, we have to look at it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so it bothers you to look at me. And since you have no self-control to choose what to look at, I guess the only thing that I can do to help would be help them poke their eyes out if it would make them feel better. Like, that's, I just don't see what else they want from me. But anyway, I digress, as I always do. But until the next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.